again with the Rambling Dasher, and we are headed out for a short evening of dashing. So just kind of a heads up where we are, what we're doing. So after being gone for a month, I worked last week and had all of 32 deliveries. But that got me to 32 deliveries in the last 30 days. So our goal is to hit 100 as fast as we can, and that means accepting every single order, and to see how many days it takes us to get from gold status back up to platinum. And after yesterday, we went from 32 to 45. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Our earnings, let's see, yesterday 5 hours and 54 minutes for $72.75 with a balance of 88 cents because I took cash orders of $70. But I had one, I can only remember the one, but it was an $18 cash tip at the very end. So that put me at around 90 bucks for the day yesterday, so not too bad on a 5 hour and 54 minute delivery. So I went ahead and set it to dash right now, but I'm gonna be working over towards trying to go get my kid. So we're gonna have dinner after we dash tonight, so I don't know if I'll get any orders on the way over there or not. If I do, then I'll hopefully be able to keep going his direction, but we'll see what happens. But that's kind of where we're at. What else do we got? Ratings. So I haven't looked at this today. My acceptance rating, I got, I think, 13 or 14 out of 14 yesterday. My acceptance rating went from 88 to 89. So a lot of accepts must have been on there at that time frame within the last 100. Completion rate is 100. My on time and early, somewhere when I came back from my trip, I was at 93, and I've been at 93 for months on my on time or early. But then one day last week I looked in there and it was at 92. So I don't know how that happened or whatever, but it's at 92. I'm not too worried about that. Customer rating 5.0. Deliveries in the last 30 days 45. And I don't know when this thing updates, but it said 2,600 yesterday. It says 2,600 today. So 2,600 lifetime deliveries. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're doing. We're shooting for accepting all orders until we hit that 100 in the last 30 days. At that point, I will be a little bit more selective, but I also am a firm believer that in my area, status matters. And if you're not platinum, you don't get good orders. You get orders that have long delivery mileage, and you get orders that are low in dollar amounts. Yeah, so my goal is to be platinum and to stay platinum. And with that, I won't, I'll be selective, but I'll still take some low orders and try to get low orders with reasonable mileage criteria, meaning the mileage hopefully will be close to or well above $1 per mile. So that's the goal anyway. So that's kind of where I stand on that. It's asking me to opt into shopping, that there's a lot of shopping right now, and I despise the shopping, and I've already missed a turn because I don't know where I'm going. So I'm trying to cut through some back roads to get over to where my son is, and then pick him up. My need to send him a message and let him know I'm on the way. Because he is live streaming right now. And he needs to be shutting it down. So, anyway, I have no idea where I'm at. There is something wrong with the way that I came, because these roads aren't making any sense to me right now. Okay, now I know where I'm at. So maybe you guys can tell me this. My son has got into this mode of not saying okay. He says MK. What does that mean? Anybody out there? What does that mean? I don't understand MK. Is it like MK? I don't know. What does that mean? Alright guys, so I'm in Central Arkansas. Where are you guys at today? Are you making any money? Have you noticed DoorDash slowing down at all? Is it only slow because I'm in an oversaturated area next to the big city and all the people from the city come out this direction to go DoorDashing and keep it saturated with drivers, and therefore the orders are spread out? Anybody else running into situations like that? Or do people just not have as much money as they used to have? Is DoorDash raising the prices so much that people can't afford to dash anymore? Or they can't afford to order from DoorDash? I don't know. Also, what's the weather like where you are? It's roughly 90, 91 degrees here, but the feels like temperature says 101, 102. It's only June. Come on, Mother Nature. Chill out. way to move to a cooler climate in the summertime. I need to work on that. I wonder if in doing this, if I ever get to go on my world travels and quit working or work while I travel, sell the house, do all that stuff, if I can figure out like how to be in South America or someplace like that during the winter or in the summertime when it's winter there, how far do I have to go? Now I did look at Peru, because we are looking at a trip to Peru next summer to go to Machu Picchu, and I did look in May and June, and the nighttime temperatures get down to like 40 degrees. Now granted, in the city that you have to go to and stay at is called Cusco, the elevation is like 11,000 some odd feet above sea level, which is quite high. And yeah, so they say that you want to get there and stay for a couple of days to get acclimated to the altitude before you try to do anything like going to Machu Picchu or any place else that you might see around there. There's 2 or 3 places that I know of, Machu Picchu being the biggest one. There's another place, I think it's called the Sacred Valley. I'm not sure what all is at the Sacred Valley. And then the 1 or 2 other little places along the way that you can get excursions on to do that kind of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'm going to send him another text and let him know I'm here. And then see how long it takes him to come out. This is the joys of having teenage kids and they're off somewhere and they're like, oh, I'm playing video games. And now he's like, uno momento. I'm like, dude, you take one year of Spanish in the 9th grade and now you're trying to text Spanish to me? Alright, so I'm going to pause this and we'll be right back. Hey guys, we are back, and I've got the kid with me over here. You know, you can't see him, but we are just out dashing. I just accepted an order here in town. Not the best numbers, but it gets me off the board. I've been driving around for 35 minutes with no dashes, so I think it was $7.75, but it was 8+ miles. And we're on the kick right now where we are accepting all dashes until we get back up to that back up to 100 deliveries in 30 days. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're only dashing for about 3 hours tonight, and so hopefully it's not looking good, but you'd like to say you could get a little bit of money in 3 hours. I would like to get $50 at least. 60 would be better, but I would take it with 50, because usually the goal is short nights you get $50, long nights you get $100, and then if you did that 3 long nights and 2 short nights, you come up with $400 in a week. And 4 weeks in a month, you get $1,600. So anyway, it's kind of what we're looking at. I may try to get some other stuff. Oh, I'm getting notifications because we stopped at a little Circle K and picked up a drink. But all right, so we're here at this restaurant. I'm gonna run in and pick it up, and I will be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and we are headed out to deliver this pasta. It looks like we get to go. Oh wow, we are going a long ways to deliver this pasta. I might have to pause the delivery after this one because I don't want any other orders down in that direction, and I don't know how to pause it. I don't know where they put that. Is it this little... Oh, there we go. They've moved stuff around a few times on me here. Used to, there was a little thing that's kind of in the middle. Now it's a little gear box or gear up on the upper right, upper left. That gives you another view, including the pause button. Alright, so here we go. This one says from here it's still 8 miles in 12 minutes, so it's mainly the freeway. So mainly freeway miles. So we won't be back before the first hour is up, so we're going to be getting $7 and some change in the first hour. That just means somebody's going to have to step it up in the second and third hour. So the Razorbacks won yesterday for the right to be able to play again today against the team that lost last night between LSU and UCLA, but they got into like 4.5 innings and rain delay until this morning. So they finished it up, and LSU won that game. So that means the Razorbacks have to play LSU today. Tonight, I think it's 6 o'clock. So, and I don't have freaking ESPN. I bought Sling TV for a couple of months for the NCAA basketball tournament. And I watched a little bit of NCAA baseball before we let it turn off. But then we went out of town for a month, so I just let everything go except for, well, Netflix, Hulu, and Prime I still have. But it turns out when I was over there, I couldn't even get Hulu on that TV because they don't have Hulu overseas. No. Well, they don't have Prime overseas. I think that was it. Now, I could still get things on my phone, and I had the VPN to the United States and cast it to the TV. So that worked out a little bit, but we mainly watched, what did we watch? We did watch Prime over there. Was it Prime? I don't know what channel it was on. Whatever the channel The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is on, we watched that whole series while we were in Portugal. We also watched the new series, and I don't know where these, I think it might have been on Netflix. I can't think of the name of it. Was it The Last Summer? I don't know what it was called, but it was a Alan Alda movie back in the 80s, with him and Carol Burnett and some other people. Well, they made a remake of it and turned it into a series, a one-season series on, I think, on Netflix. And it had Steve Carell, Tina Fey. Those are the two big ones. And I can't remember who else was in it, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Had some tough moments in it, but it was still good. It was funny, but then it was sad and heartbreaking and all that fun stuff, you know. What is this thing doing? Well, it's telling me I already made a wrong turn. So, we will readjust. Sometimes, I guess, not sometimes, because it seems to be a common theme that I am consistently missing my turns while I'm rambling about DoorDash stuff, or whatever I'm rambling about while I'm door dashing. I miss all my turns. Number one, I hate listening to the GPS tell me the directions, but then I don't ever pay attention to the directions either. So at least when I have the volume turned off. Okay. Up to 26 miles to the gallon, which really does stink, but it is what it is. For this car, it stinks. I don't know why. I might have to ask the AI what it thinks about. Okay, Google. Can the grade of motor oil drastically reduce the miles per gallon that your vehicle gets?
Yes, the grade, viscosity of motor oil can absolutely affect your vehicle's miles per gallon, MPG. Here's why. Viscosity and friction. Motor oil's primary job is to lubricate engine parts and reduce friction. Thicker oils create more resistance, making the engine work harder to pump the oil and move its internal components. This increased effort requires more fuel. Fuel economy benefits of thinner oils. Modern engines are often designed to use lower viscosity oils, e.g. 0W20, 5W20, 5W30. These thinner oils flow more easily, reducing internal engine friction and allowing the engine to operate more efficiently. This translates to better fuel economy. Some sources suggest a 1 to 2% improvement in MPG just by using the manufacturer's recommended oil grade. Impact of using the wrong grade. Oil that is too thick. If you use an oil that is too thick for your engine, e.g. using 10W40 when 5W30 is recommended, your engine will have to work harder to pump it. This increases resistance, burns more fuel, and can lead to reduced MPG. It can also cause issues like slower oil flow, especially during cold starts, potentially leading to increased wear and even overheating if lubrication is insufficient.
Well, there you go. I've never heard that, and so I'm not one to change my own oil, but I took it in to Firestone, and ever since I took it to Firestone, I have gotten considerably less miles per gallon. So it looks like getting a work email. What is today? Today is the 17th. Well, it's funny they would send me that message after work hours. Well, telling me they're going to be out of the office tomorrow. Sorry, people. Right. So my kid's looking at me. I was like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you talking?" And I was like, "I don't know. I get distracted with my own thoughts sometimes." So yeah, sometimes DoorDashing is just, it's not all about talking all the time. So sometimes you're busy eating. Sometimes you're busy eating on camera. So I I was telling the story yesterday that I was giving him a hard time because I was watching his live stream on his Sea of Thieves game yesterday, and I was like, "Are you eating on camera?" Which I do all the time when I'm doing this show, because I have to eat. The only thing is I can't go into the kitchen and fix me some waffles like he did and eat waffles in front of everybody that's watching his watch his video game play. So yeah, maybe someday we'll move it inside. We will move it inside. So speaking of moving inside, we are going to be looking at doing our own channel. I don't know how we're going to do it. If we're going to break off and spin off a brand new channel, or if we're going to do a like a live stream on his channel, maybe on, I don't know if we can do multiple channels at the same time on YouTube. But I don't know if we can live stream. I don't know what the requirement is for live streaming on YouTube. Is the 50 subscribers minimum requirement only when you're using your phone, or is it also requirement when you're on a desktop? I do not know these. I don't know the answers. But we're gonna do a live stream and do like a live quote unquote TV show, kind of like you know, our own version of Jimmy Fallon, or like, what is it called? Great Mythical Morning.
GMM, yep. Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link. Link and Rhett. Which one's comes first?
Rhett and Link, yeah.
Rhett and Link?
Rhett's the tall one with the hair.
So we like those guys. My kids watch them a lot more than I do. I only watch them when they are watching them at my house. So, but having a little kind of sit down talk show kind of situation like that, and we got to figure out some details and try to get that to happen, because we've been talking about it for months and we have made no progress. We've got some kind of bullet points written down as to what we want to do or how we want to do it, but I think when we get down to the nitty-gritty, we'll finalize some things and actually do it. So, all right, I'm going to pause this and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. We dropped that off. Everything went fine. He came out and waved, and he had already gave me a $2 extra tip on top of the tip that he built into it. So it was like I think it was $3.75 base pay with a $4 tip, and he added $2 extra to it. I think mainly just because of the memes, or maybe it was he liked the fact that I kept him informed as to what I was doing and when I was doing it, that I was picking the food up, that I was on my way, and I never got around to sending him one. Well, I did send him one saying I was dropping the food off. So I sent him three text messages. So with 3 memes that I sent as well. So that's how I roll, right? So yeah. So back to what I was saying before is we are gonna create a little TV show on YouTube that we're gonna live stream it, and try to do our best to do a production of a live stream without having to edit it after the fact. So I know he's got some decent software to be able to go do live streams and to kind of run it through software that way, and to do some on the fly, I don't know, it'd be editing, but basically production, to bring up videos, to bring up clips, to bring up video games, and all that fun stuff of what we want to do during an episode of our live show. And then we're just gonna, whatever the topic might be, we're gonna talk about things for a little bit, back and forth, show some different things, whatever we want to do. It could be, if we took like a format like Jimmy Fallon, where we interview people and stuff like that. We haven't decided on if we're going to do a stand-up monologue before the show at the first 15 minutes and have Boyd get up and do the stand-up for that or not. But that's just a thought that came to me. If we're mimicking something like that, I know like the Good Mythical Morning does not do that. They just dive right into it. They're both sitting behind that desk and talking to the screen, and then they talk to all their people behind the scenes as well, because they come up with some crazy skits. We might do crazy skits.
Skits is in like what?
Like ranking our favorite Mountain Dew flavors.
Okay.
Or
so like
segments.
Yeah.
But they turn them into like skits where they have live like props and have blindfolded taste tests and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I do like. I enjoy that kind of a thing that they do on there. I'm sure we can, the crazy thing about it is we have to keep it on the down low as far as the pricing goes, because I don't want to have to spend, a few $100s per episode to figure out our favorite Little Debbie snack cakes and eat them as we go. So, alright, y'all might hear a little bit of wind noise, but hopefully not, because we have the microphone, and I haven't created the videos from last night yet, so hopefully by the time we get rolling on, because I have not been good about putting the videos out there yet on YouTube. I've been recording them, but I haven't been releasing them, so I'm gonna have this microphone in the description, the link on Amazon. So be sure to look for that when you see this video, anyway. But yeah, so we're gonna do some things like that. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on what you think would make a good, like, not really a variety show, but just a, I don't know, almost like a video podcast kind of thing. I see people, it's almost like you get on ESPN and you see those guys sitting there talk for an hour about the NFL, or I've always been a Steelers fan. If you guys watch these videos, I've talked about sports before. So Ben Roethlisberger has his own YouTube channel where him and usually one or two, maybe three other guys sit behind a big desk that's built in his kitchen, and they just walk in there, plop down, and start videoing, and I don't know. I'm sure theirs is not live. Theirs is probably a lot more production that goes into it, and maybe even has real takes. I don't know. They might do it live. I don't know. But I like the idea of being able to do it live and just roll with your mistakes. And I don't want it to be perfect by any means. I just want it to be, if it's a funny mess up, then it's a funny mess up. And just to see kind of what happens and what avenues we can go in in creating some kind of product that maybe it's just the two of us find it worthwhile, right? But maybe other people will. It is getting too hot to wear a hat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think we probably need to schedule like maybe Friday night as a trial run with kind of the boom with all the details of what we want, and actually walk through it with a live computer to kind of say, boom, this is what we want to do, and from that do a walkthrough of it, and maybe tweak what we want to put in the show, and then come Saturday or Sunday we do the live broadcast. What do you think?
What?
He's not listening.
Sorry.
I was thinking maybe Friday night we could do a dry run where we kind of walk through what we want to put in there and get the software set up so that we can kind of like, okay, go from segment 1 to segment 2 and have whatever kind of things we want to bring up and have everything lined up along the way. Because if you're going to run the computer,
Yeah.
I got people yelling at me to get out of the way, but we're just driving. They just happen to be the last one in a long line of cars, and there's other cars in front of me, but they kind of developed a little gap, so they just sped up there to get back at the end of that line.
Crazy.
Where is my DoorDash? So yeah, anyway, just somehow we got to come up, and this is where he has software, I don't have the software. So to be able to kind of line up what we want to do, and see how long it's going to take us, and then making sure that each one of our segments, we have all the visual media that we have ready to go. And lined up for when we go live. And that might take a little bit of work to say, hey, I want a video clip of this or this, or a video clip of whether it's stuff that we made, whether it's stuff that's off of the internet or something. Somehow we got to make sure that we don't get copyrighted or whatever they call it, where we have copyright material in there. I don't know how that works, so we just had to be careful with that. But hopefully we can get some of that stuff taken care of. So probably tonight we're going to sit down and kind of brainstorm, write it out, say this is what we want our first show to look like. And then Thursday and Friday night kind of work out the details, have a dry run of it Friday night, and then Saturday or Sunday do a live broadcast. So anyway, something that we've been wanting to do, I've been wanting to do with him for a long time. And we've talked about it a lot, but we had never just figured it all out. So hopefully we can get closer to that after today and just be one step closer. And if we actually say, let's do it, right, then we'll actually sit down and do it. Oh, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. I got one delivery, so for $9.75. So that's the downside. It took me probably 40 minutes to deliver that order. It was 40 minutes before I got the first order, and then 40 minutes to deliver the order. and get back into town. Oh, so Oregon State scores 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to tie their game 6-6, and I do believe it's an elimination game with Louisville. And it looks like the bases are loaded. Oh, no, that's the bottom of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th, bases are loaded with 1 out. Louisville could win it right here, from what I can tell. Yeah, the batter is a Louisville batter. I can't see, it's very tiny print, and I don't have reading glasses on while I'm driving, so all the joys of getting older. Alright people, we need some DoorDash orders is all I know. Oh, there we go. It is 2.8 miles for $5.25 to the Pizza Hut here in town. So I will accept that and we will head over to the Pizza Hut. I can't get it to quit dinging. It likes to continue dinging because I guess somehow... Oh, and it says the order is already ready to be picked up. Alright guys, I will be right back.
Turn it down.
Alright guys, we are back at it. We've loaded up the pizza in the pizza bag. And it was less than a couple miles away, so we're 1.6 out, 4 minutes, so not too bad for a $5 plus delivery. And these people are replying to some of the conversation here. So not 100%, but more likely to add additional tips if you get people to reply to your comments that you're picking the food up, or you're waiting for the people for like saying that, hey, Pizza Hut's still working on your order, blah blah blah, and then saying, hey, I'm on the way, and all that stuff. If they start replying to that, that's always a good sign. It's not a guarantee, but it's a good sign that you potentially could get an added tip at the end. Just like the first one, that guy was replying 2 or 3 times, or he was like, thank you, blah blah, you know, I don't know what all he said. He said thank you probably twice to me sending that information. Or well, one of them he just put a rolling on the floor laughing icon, and the other one he said thank you or something like that, and then he added the tip after I put it out there that it was being dropped off. So that was very nice of him to do that, and he didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. And you know, not to get my hopes up that this person will add an additional tip, but I mean, this is why we're here. We're not here to do things for free. We're here to try to make as much money as we can from people that are generous and value what they're getting, because we don't do this out of the kindness of our hearts. We can't afford to do it out of the kindness of our hearts. Most DoorDashes are not independently wealthy. If they were, they would start up a delivery service for people who can't afford their food, and probably buy the food for them, right? But those of us that are like needing a little bit of extra money for paying their bills and saving for excursions and stuff, then you go out there and DoorDash, or you do something else to make extra money. So one thing I've talked about my kids, because we've had a t-shirt shop for probably 2 or 3 years. It's all online and it's just drop shipped, so it kind of works if we could get people to purchase things. So you've seen my shirts. This is one for the shirt that I'm wearing, is one of them that we had made up, and this is probably like a couple years old. But it's for it's called Tip Top Chew. I don't know if you can see that. Is my foodie page on Facebook. So if you guys are interested in following some food, you can see all the food places we ate at over the last month while we were in Portugal. So feel free to go check that out and leave some likes on there. Follow it, whatever. If you want to buy a t-shirt that says Tip Top Chew, you know, feel free. There will be a link down below to our t-shirt shop. It's called Autographics, which is, Otto is the name of our dog, so I just thought it would be kind of a funny name. Instead of autograph, it's Autographics. What is that? 342? Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to find a house right now. 340 deliveries. Do you see a number 342?
No.
No, I need a 339.
339, dude.
Where
Passed
is this?
it.
No, it says it's up here on the right.
368. 339 right here.
There we go. Alright, I'm going to drop this food off. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so we got this one, this dash, $15. We've accepted 2 out of 2 orders for, and it's taken us an hour and 35 minutes. This one was $2.25 base with $3 tip. Continue dashing. So yeah, up to $15. Let's see. It looks like Louisville probably walked it off. Yep. In the 9th inning to win 7-6. So good for Louisville. that was an elimination game. I know Arkansas played several years ago now. I think it was pre-COVID, and lost to Oregon State in the finals, which was very because we had the game one that we needed to win that would have won it for us. So in the finals of the College World Series, they had to play the last two teams had to play a best of 3 games, and Arkansas won the first game, and then Arkansas was winning the second game, and this dude popped up this foul ball just right outside of where the first baseman was, and the I guess right fielder, and maybe another player ran over there, and all of a sudden it looked like the game was going to be over. It was the bottom of the ninth or whatever, maybe, yeah, bottom of the ninth, with 2 outs, and that out would have ended the game if they would just caught the ball, but it somehow dropped between these 3 guys, dropped on the foul, and so therefore it was, you know, he got another at bat, and I don't know what happened after that, but they ended up winning that game, and then they came back the next day and won the next day, and Arkansas lost the College World Series finals. Maybe it was 2018 or so, something like that. But that was kind of heartbreaking in that regard. There was a red-headed woodpecker. You don't see... Oh, crap, I better not go with this big truck flying through here. But anyway, so Oregon State is out. I mean, Arkansas still has to win tonight. Then they have to, if they want to stay in it tomorrow, if they can win tonight against UCLA, who played last night, didn't finish, played this morning to finish the game. Now they got to turn right around and play tonight after playing late last night and again this morning. They have to turn around and play tonight. So hopefully they're tired and Arkansas just comes out there and drills them. And then Arkansas has to turn right around and play LSU, who beat them 4-1. I think it was Saturday. So yeah, it's a tough road to climb. Alright, so we've been going for 1 hour and 40 minutes and have $15. This doesn't seem like the path we want to do. Two deliveries. So again, I don't know if it's the status, right? Not having 100 deliveries in the last 90 days, or 100 deliveries in the last 30 days, which knocks me down to gold. If it's that the area is saturated and no one's getting like back to back orders, you know, or just like consistently getting orders throughout the night. Yesterday I did pretty good, even though I got 13 orders, but they were mostly bad orders. I can say that. A lot of low paying orders, less than $4 orders. I mean, I had the very last order bail me out in the fact that they gave me a $18 tip, which put me up to about 90 bucks. With 13 orders isn't that bad. It's like $7 or $8 an order, maybe $6, $7 an order. I don't know. Look, they're building something new here. I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, we have an order. $6 plus. Oh, it's got a plus sign on it for 2.1 miles at McDonald's. So we're gonna hit that.
That's good.
We're gonna hope that it comes out to be more than that the plus sign is a big plus, not just 25 cents. Because I've had it happen to me a lot. I don't know why or how that plus sign gets on there. It makes no sense to me. But it just says, hey, this order will be greater than this, or whatever. Okay, good. It enticed me to take it, even though I was going to take it anyway. But it just makes me hope that we get a decent, amount from it. So, all right, I'm at McDonald's. We were right around the corner. There's no way they got it ready, but we're going to go in there and see what we can find. So, I will be back. Okay, guys. I don't know. That took us like 20 minutes or something.
That was 10.
15 minutes then, but it took way too long. I know that it was when we dropped that other order off and we were coming back, it was 39. Now it's 57, so almost 20 minutes.
Oh, dude.
All right, people, y'all need to settle down, people. Here are people bawling their tires out.
That was you.
That wasn't me.
That was you.
No, it was that truck right there.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because he was like trying to get over into this lane, and there was someone right in front of him in the center lane. I was like, this car won't do that. I mean, they might with some wet tires, but I didn't even have my foot on the gas. I had the foot on the brake. Somebody just got pulled over and they were turning into Sonic. So the cop was pulled up right behind them in there, and they pulled into a stall in the Sonic there. I guess I shouldn't laugh because someday that might be me.
Is that supposed to be Star Wars?
Yes, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, well, that's autocorrect.
Yeah, it's fun. That is funny.
So he's going through some ideas that we highlighted just to kind of weed out, because we have lots of ideas, but what do we want to actually put in this first episode? And then once we narrow that down, then we got to find material for each one of the segments we're going to have in our first episode.
So real quick, what is board cards?
What does it say?
Board cards.
I think that's something Kennedy told us about. I'm not sure what it is.
No. I think I said that. Like, we play Rummy or something. I think that's what that's supposed to be.
A board game?
No, just cards.
Board cards.
Yeah, like we're bored. I'm pretty sure I came up with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking there was some kind of game associated with that or something. I didn't know what it meant.
I think the thought of it was that, at least when I came up with it, I'm pretty sure I came up with it because I feel like I'm the only person who says bored out of us three. I think it's like we do a segment where it's like kind of top down and it's showing our hands and like the table, you know, and we just play a card game, random card game. kind of like that. Vegan meat.
Whoops. There we go, missing another turn. I don't have places to turn around on this road. I thought it was further down than that.
So is this all for the first show?
Whatever we're gonna do for the very first show.
Oh wow. Okay.
And this is something we gotta figure out. Like every time we do a show, we're gonna have to figure out what do we want to do and do whatever prep work we're gonna do before we get to the point of doing the show. So if we say we're gonna have like some memes, then what memes are we gonna present and talk about or laugh about? You know, what if we're gonna play a video game, then we got to have it queued up ready to go and not, you know, having to sit there and wait on it.
Alright, I finished.
So what's the list consist of right now?
I mean, I about chose everything because all of it was really good. I don't remember how long these are supposed to be, so I could take some things out of the checklist. But we got
I am never delivered here.
a couple, like, I mainly liked all of them, so I checked all of them. So, like, quote of the week, top 5 list, dad jokes, tip of the week, product review, this week in history, random segment for next week, spin the wheel, episode recap, I like that. Trivia, financial education, board cards, video game of the week, improv game, news flash, rapid fire questions, what if scenarios, movie review, listener slash viewer comments slash Q&A, agony aunt.
I'll be right back. Alright guys, so gold status gave you priority for this order. So we're up to $22.75 on 3 out of 3 dashes, 2 hours and 3 minutes. And this offer was labeled as $6 plus, and we got $7.75. $2 base pay with $5.75 tip. And I don't know, we may be up to 48 deliveries. 48 deliveries, so we got about another hour before we need to shut it down, and which might just be like 2 or 3 deliveries. So I need some $12, $13 deliveries, 2 of them in this next hour, to hit us up to $50. So that first 2 hours is very slim, to say the least. And again, I somewhat expected this, coming back from vacation and not having platinum status. But I also question whether or not it's is it the economy? Is it DoorDash? Is it DoorDash letting too many drivers in this area? I just don't know. There's a lot of factors that could be at play here, and I just don't know. So I am going to get my platinum status as fast as I can, and then after that we'll find out if I get, you know, if I'm in the doldrums and don't ever get any orders. I don't know why all these cars are coming. It's not. I don't know what they're doing. right. Okay. All right, let's get that list out again. I want to just review it.
I thought we just did.
Well, hold on. Here, I'll get it on my phone, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so so you only have 3 items on there?
3 items that I didn't check.
Those are the ones that are left on there.
No.
Those are the ones you're excluding.
That I didn't.
So all the ones down here are the ones we want to put in one episode, 19 things.
So, well, as I said earlier, I didn't know that this is for one episode.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, well, let's go back through there and think about what you want to be able to do in the first episode. And leave those ones unchecked.
So tell me the time limit. How long do we want to be taking?
It doesn't matter. So whatever you pick, then we might narrow that down based upon the time or what we feel like we can do between now and Thursday, right?
Okay, give me a minimum then.
I would say we want to have a minimum of 6 to 8, and depending on what those are, we may kick some of.
6 to 8 minutes.
No, 6 to 8 items.
Okay, so how many minutes?
I mean, each one of these things has like 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Some of them have 5 to 15 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, 2 to 10 minutes. So each one of those things listed has a minute thing on there, because we really don't know how long each segment's going to take. But I would say that we try to come up with a decent hour, right?
An hour?
Yeah, and it could go long, or it could be shorter. Like, how long is good mythical morning?
About I think 20 to 30. I don't really remember.
20 to 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I would think they're longer than that.
Maybe they are. I don't know. I'll check. About 20 and 30.
Huh.
Probably more like just 20.
Really?
Yeah. 18 here.
It seems like they're
13
so
minutes.
much longer. Are those like... Go to their... Is that the good mythical morning one? Or is that just extra short ones?
Their latest videos. So this one's 19.
And it says good mythical morning.
Yes. 20 minutes. 29. 23, 20, 24, 20, 29.
So
18,
I do know
13,
that they have those on
18.
regular television as well.
Yeah. They did.
And so maybe they're making them shorter now than they used to, so that they can put ads on TV channels, like they have their own TV channel on some satellite television, right?
I'll scroll back to when I was watching them a lot. Here, this is probably about 2 months ago. 18, 17, 15. This one was 33. I think I fell asleep to that one because I don't remember that. 18, 17, 20, 17. They were making a lot shorter back 2 months ago.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just figured they were like an hour-long episodes, because they seem like they go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does feel
like
that, doesn't it?
Well, this is a crap order. $3 for 2.1 miles. So.
And included tips.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna accept it because we're on a mission.
Baja Baja Blast is the perfect sauce.
You know it's a bad sign when the order is ready to pick up as soon as you click it. That means it has been declined by other people. So I wonder if it was a $2 order. It went back out as a $2.25 to $2.50 to $2.75, and now I've accepted a $3 order for 0 tip. I wouldn't doubt it. But we're on a mission. We're on a mission. We got to get 100 deliveries. And I wasn't wanting to take 3 whole weeks, but geez, you only get 3 orders in 3 hours on a Tuesday night. I was probably going to start looking at taking Fridays off, but if I can't make any money on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then I may have to do Fridays. I really don't want to. I want to start backing off of this a little bit, but I also have to just think about, I got to make money, right? I got to be able to pay the bills, save for some trips, that kind of stuff. And $3 orders is not going to get me there, right? Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. We have loaded up some barbecue, and it's 1.6 miles away, 4 minutes. It's across the freeway on an overpass that doesn't have any exits. So years ago here, they had the freeways that were 2 ways on both sides of the freeway, but then they made them to where they were one direction only, and they built some extra overpasses in the middle to help people get to the other side of the freeway if they need to go over. So this is one of those extra overpasses. Alright, so I've been extra nice to these people, trying to get them to give me some extra tip, but I just kind of doubt that this one will, for whatever reason. It's every once in a while in these apartments I'm going to, I'll get one, but it's not the norm. But I keep trying. Because you never know, right? You never know.
Alright. So, I calculated it. So I did the least amount of minutes. So I cut it down a little bit. Did the least amount of minutes, and it's about 44, 45 minutes. So then the most amount of minutes is about an hour and 40 minutes. So we probably won't be able to do, we probably won't do an hour and 40 minutes, but.
Alright, so what's the categories that you left?
So the ones I left, so every show. I feel like if we're gonna have every show, we better make the best ones. The best ones in every show.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not the best ones, but like some pretty good ones that don't get repetitive, because we had. So there's the ideas like word of the week, and then there's quote of the week, and then there's like here, let me find it. Tip of the week, this week in history. There's like all these ones that kind of are depending on this week, and they're real easy ones, but they're kind of dumb. And I think like they could work sometimes.
Yeah, they're meant to be like something that would be relatively quick that we could probably do in about a minute, and just kind of throw in as some filler time.
Yeah, but filler time of like less than maybe a minute if we talk about it for a bit, but just about a minute. So that's why I think I only included like 2 things depending on the week.
Yeah.
Which is
and when it says like, well, some of them are like, if it's this week in history, then we would have to do some research.
That's
right?
one of the ones that I liked.
Yeah, I like it too, but we have to figure out
that's
happened
kind of the reason I liked it.
On any of these dates during this week throughout history, and then we just cherry pick the ones that we like the best.
Yeah, that's what I liked
and
about.
kind of read those off and maybe chat about them a little bit. So yeah, I like that idea.
That one and also quote of the week, they both somewhat involve more work and research about it, and that's kind of like I want to put some work into it, some effort into this if we're gonna actually do it.
I like quote of the week. I do like because I have saved several quotes, like maybe hundreds of quotes, and I have them saved somewhere. But here's what I would like to do in that particular segment is we both come up with one quote of the week. You have yours, I have mine, and we read it and then we talk about it.
Are we making them up or are we finding them?
It's famous quotes.
Famous quotes, alright.
That's what I would say anyway. Alright, I gotta go to the back of this building, and I don't know which side is the back because it's sideways. Alright,
so
I'm gonna pause this and I will be right back, and we'll figure out some other stuff. Alright guys, we're back exactly as I predicted. $3 base pay with a $0 tip, and I promise you that thing was declined 3 or 4 times before I accepted it. Because there's no way, that place never has food ready that fast. So my guess is that order had been sitting there for a little while and I just happened to be driving by. So
know their blinkers on.
Alright, we're gonna hit continue dashing, see what else we can get. We got about 30 minutes, so probably just one more delivery. So quote of the day, history of the quote of the week, because we're doing one show a week.
Yeah.
History, this day in history, or this week in history.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So yeah, those two week ones, and then here we'll go from the top of every show. So quote of the week. Then we got top 5 list. So what do you think about that?
Top 5 list. What I can tell you about top 5 lists is that I've begun to hate top 5 lists.
You have?
Yeah, because I was doing top 5 lists on this show.
Yeah, I know.
And they are incredibly hard to come up with your own top 5 list.
It is.
So not only is it hard to come up with a top 5, but it's hard to come up with what do you want your list to be about today.
Yeah.
You know, and coming up with different top 5 lists, and then it's like, because I know what I like, and usually it's hard to come up with more things like number 3, number 4, and number 5.
Yeah.
But we can keep it on there. But I do know it's one of those things that's kind of hard, and I do not want to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that I would think that if we can come up with a top 5 list for that episode, and if we can't, then we scrap it for that week, right?
Yeah. I will tell you, it's once a week, so I bet we can do it.
I'm sure we can. I agree. We just have to put a little time and effort into each episode and coming up with a top 5 list, and that's that's what we're going to use ChatGPT for. Somebody lost a chair, 2 chairs.
Oh, we should take them.
Yeah.
They look nice. I'll hose them down.
Okay, what's next?
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Yeah. So I think we'll spit back at least 2.
So this is where typically I will tell a dad joke, and you will react to it. And usually, and I follow some places online that do stupid dad jokes, so I can get dad jokes all over the place. So yeah, I think we could do that.
Like, what do you think? Like
dad joke of the week.
just one that we find, or like back and forth one?
Yeah,
Like
we
you
can
say one, I say one.
Oh, look at this.
And then we're done.
$9 for 9.4 miles. Alright, we're going to accept it.
KFC.
And that will be our last delivery. Pause order after delivery. Alright, we're headed to KFC for our last delivery for $9, which will put us at almost 35 bucks.
But you think we could do like on one after another, and then, or like, so like you do one, I do one, or do you think like you like do it twice or something? I don't
Well,
know.
here's what the deal is this is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Is you're not a dad, so how are you telling dad jokes?
Okay.
But yeah, we can alternate back and forth. Just make it, and these aren't going to be jokes that we make up. Although we could make up some dad jokes, but most of the time they're just going to be ones that are already out there in the universe, and we'll just replay them or repeat them, and do the best we can with them. So I like that. So in essence, the history one might take a little bit, to go through, like this week in history. If we pick, maybe we have to limit it to like maybe 10 things that happened this week in history that we've picked out of the list. Something like that, so that we don't go just crazy. Because lots of things have happened over, human history during any given day or week.
So when I was thinking about it, I just thought we might do like 2 to 3, because
Okay.
usually in each week it's gonna be something interesting, and right here you have 2 to 5 minutes. So if we actually just talk about it, like 2 to 3, like you pick one and I pick one, and then we talk about
Sorry. I missed my
yours
turn.
first, and then I tell mine, and then we talk about mine, and like which one thing we found interesting about that week.
Yeah, I mean we can do lots of different things, and part of it could be trial and error, right?
Yeah.
We know that we're going to do this the first time, and we're like, oh, we can add more to that one, or we need to cut that one short next time.
Yeah.
So it'd be smart for us to take notes about what our thoughts were based upon each segment.
Yeah.
After that show, or we re-watch it and say, this is what I think about this, that. But I personally can envision having a list of things that happened in this week, and it maybe be a little bit longer of a segment.
Okay. Next up, I forgot about this one on the week ones. I like this one. It's a tip of the week.
Tip of the week, which is just
kinda like
very
this.
wide open.
Yeah, it is.
It could be anything. So it could be like, hey, here's a computer tip of the week. Here's a financial tip. Just anything.
Yeah.
It's very broad.
That's one of the reasons I kind of liked it. I will say we probably won't use it for the financial tips, because we already have the financial education one.
So yeah.
As a thing. So I think we'll do the tip of the week like It could be very broad, or it could be like well, it is gonna be very broad, but like things we could do. Examples are like something we found out that we could do.
Yeah. So whether it's something to do with our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
whether it's creating YouTube, whether it's in production of the videos or something, yes, I think that would be good.
All right. Oh yeah, I do like that one. Next one is product review. I think that would be a good one to drop on the first episode. Every episode, that would be nice, but it might have to be somewhat reoccurring.
So here's the reason I put product review in the list. Is at some point my idea is that if we can get the channel monetized and make money that way, but how else can you make money via YouTube? You can make money via YouTube with affiliate links. So if we show a product that we use and we put a link for it down below for those people to buy it, then if people buy it, then we might get a finder's fee, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that would be nice to be able to do something like that and incorporate that into one or two little segments in our channel. And it could be that at least my thought, we can do live product reviews, or we can do pre-recorded, like little pre-recorded commercials, right?
Yeah.
Where we just drop a commercial in there, and we know how long it's going to take, and it's basically a product review of something that we have an affiliate link to sell, and basically that's sponsoring our show.
Yeah.
And then someday maybe like Kentucky Fried Chicken will say, hey, we want to sponsor your show, and then we'll do an affiliate link for KFC, and they'll just pay us. Instead of you having to buy some KFC, you'll just buy KFC from us. So all right, we're gonna get back after I pick up this food, and we will chat more about what our little father-son talk show is gonna be about. So we'll be right back. All right guys, we're back. We are delivering this food. It is a whopping 17 minutes delivery, so we're down to 9. So we had to get on a phone call and a couple other things, but yeah, this is going to be the last delivery, and then we're going to head to the house and get some food. So yep, that's kind of where we're at. So we were talking about our new TV show that's going to be coming out hopefully this weekend. Don't know where, don't know how, so once we get it out there, I'll mention it and let people have an opportunity to go take a look at it. So we were going down through there. The last thing we talked about was like we're gonna have a product review, and that's going to be, at least in the initial phases, is like our commercials. And we build our own commercials, so we can do whatever we want to do. We can come up with some funny skit commercials. We can just do whatever you want, or they can just be, hey, check this out. This is what we use. This cool, like this speaker right here, or you have a speaker that you got off of Amazon.
I did.
At your mom's house. Right? Like your desktop speaker, or did your sister give you that?
Desktop speaker? I don't have.
Don't you have a speaker in front of you when you talk?
A mic?
A mic, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, a mic.
My sister gave it to me.
Yeah.
From years ago.
Yeah. And it's probably one that I got for her off of YouTube, or not YouTube, but off of Amazon. But anyway, stuff that we actually use, and we can give a review about it and say this is what we use, and wow, it may not be the newest stuff or whatever, but anyway, we can do that kind of stuff. Also, we do a lot of travel as far as that goes, so things that we are buying for travel purposes, so even just little knickknacks here and there. So that's what I envision product reviews to be. I wouldn't mind if those were, we can do them live, or we can do pre-recorded ones. What else you got?
Okay, so yeah, the product review, and then this week in history, and then random segment for next week, which is like spin the wheel.
Yeah, so one thing we came up with was like, what is a random segment that we're going to do the following week? So, and we're going to have them listed on a wheel, and then we spin that wheel. It'll probably be a digital wheel.
Yeah.
And we spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, then that will force us to do that particular segment the next week. So, I don't know, it's something, it might last 30 seconds or a minute at the most, so it's just a fun little thing that we can throw in there.
Yeah.
What else?
Next is episode recap.
An episode recap. So the way I look at an episode recap is you do that at the very end of the show.
Yeah.
And you kind of talk about what are the things that we did in this particular episode.
Yeah.
And we might do an episode recap of what we did in the beginning of what we did the last week. I don't know. So, man, I don't know if we'll do that or not, but maybe.
So when I read that, there's like two things came to mind, and I don't really know which one it was. So my first guess was that, but was that like of what this episode had been about.
Mm-hmm.
My second guess was maybe like, because we've been watching Stranger Things, so maybe an episode recap on that. I don't really know. So
yeah, I don't think that's what that was intended to be, but we can definitely have like, what are you watching segments.
Yeah. TV watching segment. I like
what
that.
are you watching? What are you listening to?
Yeah. I like that. That could be a good every week.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, we had that. That was episode recap. I like those new two ones with like music. What are you listening to? Like listening recap, watching recap.
Yeah.
So, but then also just the recap on the whole episode that we just did. We
would do that at the very end.
Yeah. So next we're on to reoccurring segments. So trivia.
So trivia, I don't know how we want to do that. We might do some graphics with trivia, like put the question up there and then have a countdown of like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or something, where we display the answer, or we ask the trivia question, show it on the screen, and then we have to try to guess the trivia answer. So it's going to be hard because we're the ones that ask the question, and we also will have to know the answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we do that, but I like the idea as a segment. I just don't know how to facilitate it where we make it into part of a segment on our show.
Yeah.
So we had to play around with that to kind of figure out the logistics of it. I'm not real sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't really know the idea of that, because there's a couple different directions you could go with that. It's kind of a broad thing to say, just trivia.
Yeah.
So
it might be something that's just it might just be better off to say, hey, we're just gonna stick with that history of the week, instead of breaking out Trivial Pursuit or something like that.
I do kind of like the idea of trivia, but maybe we could, instead of just saying like random trivia, maybe, I don't know, maybe kind of push it towards the I mean, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting a lot more ideas about it. So maybe it's like, since it's a reoccurring one, maybe it'd be like once every, I don't know, five episodes, because it's pretty big to think about. So how I envision it, or one of the best ideas that I had for it right now, is that each of us, so we'll say me first. So I'm gonna give you, say, like 5, maybe 10 questions, and it's about one particular theme. And then, beforehand, I'm probably gonna tell you the questions, and I'm gonna give you the theme, and then you're gonna do a little bit of research before the show, probably like and I'm gonna tell you the theme in advance, like a couple of days in advance, and then you'll try to guess, or based on the theme and your knowledge from what you tried learning about it, you're gonna try your best to answer the questions and I guess we can keep a score, maybe. Maybe we can have like a somewhat of a reward or something if we wanted to just add some more involvement to it. And then it'd be my turn, or it'd be your turn to ask the questions, and you'd give me a theme beforehand, and I'd have to research about it, and then during the show I'll answer some questions about it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Now that would have to have quite a bit of research, and it'd take a lot longer to set up.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit more complicated, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
but that's why it would be like once every 5 or more episodes.
All right, so I'm gonna pause where I'm gonna deliver this food, and we're gonna come and wrap this up for today. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, that was our last delivery of the day. We'll wrap this up as far as deliveries go. We got 5 out of 5 accepted, 2 hours and 57 minutes, and about a 25-minute drive home. So in about 3.5 hours, really, we got $34.75. So right at $10 an hour, which is kind of bad, but it is what it is. So this particular delivery was $4 base pay, $5 tip. So not too bad for a long drive, but it was, it was all right. So that puts me at, let's see, hold on, let me see, end dash, and it didn't pop up any stuff on there. So my earnings for the day were, hold on,
I think it was 40.
Yeah, it was $34.75, but I usually can see more stuff. Here we go, $34.75. Yeah, I think I read it all off. So yeah, they calculated 1 hour and 42 minutes of active time, 3 hours, 2 hours and 58 minutes of dash time, 5 orders, nothing over $10. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer in that regard. This week I've got 18 deliveries in 2 days for a total of $107.50, plus some little bit of money on like $19 in cash tips. So there's that. Okay, so while we're on here, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue talking about our TV show that's going to be coming up, and we're going to just kind of breeze through these last few topics, and then we will wrap this show up for today. So what was so the last one we talked about was trivia of some sort. I don't know what that was.
I think,
was that a phone? No.
Yeah, so the trivia.
So trivia, what was next on the list?
Next is improv game, and slash 10-word game. So I kind of like this one because I came up with this one a long while ago, and you've seen it probably. I think what's his name? Late night guy. What's his name?
Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon. I think he's done this once or twice on his show that I've seen. But basically, it's like, it's just to add, like, it's kind of filler, but it's kind of just for fun and funny a little bit. So you come up with this little story in a way. So I would kind of start it, right? And it's a little bit confusing. You'd go from one word, so I'd say a word, and then you'd say a word, right?
Yeah.
And then we have to kind of like, it's kind of like a sentence. You got to end it, and you also got to start it.
So each person comes up with the next word, and it can be a weird, funny sentence or story that you make out of that. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool. What's the next one?
The next one is Newsflash.
Newsflash. So Newsflash is more about current news.
Yeah. Instead of like time in history, it's more like if something really big happened, we'll probably add a newsflash and then like throw that in there. Like tariffs go up by 3,000%.
Yeah. Something, and it could be one thing. We could have a whole little news section. It could be like like Saturday Night Live does with their SNL News segment. So I don't know. I hadn't thought about that, but it just came to me that Saturday Night Live skit. Every week on Saturday Night Live they have SNL News, and they spend 5-7 minutes just doing the news. But we'll have to figure out what we want the news to be, as far as, do we want it to be political news? Do we want it to be funny news? Do we want it to be, things that are happening in real life? Do we want to put a spin on it and make a joke about it or something like that? Yeah, I do like that idea, because I kind of like the idea of trying to do our best Saturday Night Live mimic of a news, and then have a punchline to it, whatever that might be.
So it's like a joke newsflash?
Yeah, but from my perspective, I think we need to be more fair and balanced, and if we make a joke about one thing, we make a joke on the opposite side as well.
Yeah.
That we don't just go down the line and say all our jokes are going to be about this one person, and we're not, no, that's not what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So I do like that idea. So what's the next one?
Next one is rapid fire questions. Now,
rapid fire questions.
Yeah, this one I did think is quite similar to trivia, especially like now that I'm thinking about it. It's like in what we eventually came up with a minute ago. It is quite similar, but some ways I think it could be different is it's not really set in stone. It's not, so with trivia it's different in the like we give a theme to the other person and they gotta kind of guess out of like, say, like four answers that you give them.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Maybe not 4 answers, but like they kind of gotta guess the question. But to this one they have really no idea, and you're kind of just trying to get the funniest answer out of them. And so you're like, I don't know, just throw random questions at them, I guess. I don't really think about this one too much.
Yeah, I think it could be more like, maybe we have to use something like ChatGPT to come up with some just random questions, and they might just be more not trivia based or like history or facts or whatever. It's like ask, rapid fire questions that might be personal in some nature, or just like what's your favorite color, or what's your favorite animal, stupid questions like that to
Okay.
get to know me and you better, kind of thing. I don't know, maybe. We can talk about more about that. What's the next one?
Next one is what if scenarios.
What if scenarios? So we talked a little bit this like a month or 2 months ago about this, and it's basically like where we come up with some thing and then we say, well, what if? I don't know about that one. That one's kind of a tough one to me. So what if scenario? What do you think about that? Because I don't know if it's like what if scenarios. What if your dog had 5 legs? I don't know. What is it?
So now that I'm thinking about it, I do kind of like it, and one of the reasons I added it is because I think it could come up with, first of all, like funny answers, like funny scenarios that we come up with, and then now that I'm thinking about it, it's like it doesn't have to really be like random what ifs. It's like maybe we could throw it at like TV shows, because I've seen like Marvel do their what if comics and like their what if TV show, and like they put a different spin on things, like Thanos, what if he didn't snap or something. They said something like that. So what I was just thinking is, we were watching Stranger Things, and I've already said this, we've been watching Stranger Things for a minute now, and what if 11 didn't like in season 3, what if she wasn't able to take the part of the mind flayer out of her leg? What if she wasn't able to cut her leg open and tear it out and have that terrible gory scene? What if she wasn't able to do that? What would happen after that? What if 11, and sorry, spoilers here, real big spoilers, season 4, what if 11 didn't or what if she did actually defeat what's his name? Vecna in Max's mind, and Max didn't die. She still stayed alive. Would Vecna somehow survive still through all the fire and chaos, like he did, like it seems like he did, and kill another victim? Or would he just be defeated or something? And I don't know.
So yeah, that one is just like pretty big and probably takes some more thought processes. I don't know if we do that one every week, but maybe have a recurring.
That's on recurring.
It's in a recurring bucket. So what's the next one?
Movie review.
Movie review, movie or show. It could be part of like what are you watching section, or what are you listening to section, or we would have 2 separate sections. Or we maybe just have a movie review where every week we force ourselves to watch a movie and do a review on it. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard because I don't have the time to watch a movie every week. So
yeah,
that's a hard one on that one sometimes.
And that's why it's part of the recurring pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that one, but now that like we've come to it, I see that we've come up with these other ones that are kind of based on movies. So like the what if that we just talked about, kind of based on movies, shows, and the other new one that I kind of liked was like what are we watching? That one's kind of based off of this.
Yeah.
Except the thing about what are we watching, we don't have to go so far in depth. I feel like with movie review we'd be more in depth on something, and yeah, I don't really know. That one, movie review, it says 2 to 5 minutes. It would be a short kind of thing. We'd have to watch a movie every now and again,
which we do.
We do.
Yeah, so we could just play that one by ear.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Last one, Agony Ant. And I did like this one because it would be a very funny little,
An agony ant. So I remember seeing this somewhere. It's like the picture of your aunt who is in agony all the time and just rants about stuff, right? I think that was my take on that one, is like, and I can come up with plenty of things to rant about, especially you guys have watched this DoorDash channel enough, then we can come up with things that we just rant about. So that might just be like, hey, we're getting our anger out, so just bear with us a minute, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to do our best to put a show together like that and do it once a week, at least through the summer, and maybe keep it going into the fall, and just to have fun with the two of us, and just if nothing else, we got to spend that time together. That's the way I look at it. And then we will but yeah, so I don't know what I was saying there, sorry, brain fog. But anyway, if I will get it out there on YouTube world where this show is going to be and when it's going to be and all that fun stuff. So, but we'll work that out and hopefully get it out there by this weekend. I think that other than that, we are done for the night. It's time for us to be at home, but and we are working on that. So anyway, thank you guys for following along today. I appreciate Boyd riding along with me and keeping me company, and it allows us to just have more interactions and brainstorm some more about the show we want to put together. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys. Be sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and we will catch you on another day. Have a good one. Bye.